Hello friends, have you ever noticed how every zodiac sign has a completely different party personality? Some are born to be the life of the dance floor, while others secretly want to leave the moment they arrive. Today, we're breaking down how each zodiac sign acts at a party, and trust me, you'll recognize yourself or your friends in these descriptions. So, let's dive right in. Aries, the one who shows up like they own the place. Aries doesn't walk into a party, they charge into it. They're the first to suggest a drinking game, the first on the dance floor, and the first to challenge someone to a contest nobody else wanted. Think of them as the party starter, but also the one most likely to accidentally break a lamp. When an Aries arrives at a party, it's not just an entrance, it's a full production, like the opening scene of a blockbuster movie. The door swings open, voices rise, heads turn, and suddenly the atmosphere feels charged with new energy. They don't tiptoe in to see how the vibe is going. Aries sets the vibe the moment they cross the threshold. They walk in with the confidence of someone who already knows where the best music is playing, where the coldest drinks are hidden, and which room is destined to become the dance floor. Their laugh is loud, their presence is magnetic, and their enthusiasm is so contagious that even the shyest guests start to loosen up. Within 5 minutes, Aries has already suggested at least 2 drinking games, proposed rearranging the furniture for better energy, and convinced 3 people to join them on the dance floor, even though the music hasn't properly started yet. They don't wait for someone else to build the momentum, they are the momentum. And when Aries is in the zone, they'll challenge anyone to literally anything. A dance-off, a push-up contest, a trivia showdown, even a spontaneous karaoke duel where no microphone exists. The best part? They always expect to win, but they're equally happy if someone beats them, because then it just means a rematch. Aries thrives on that adrenaline of being the center of attention, even if it's not intentional. They tell stories with dramatic hand gestures, act out entire scenarios for the room, and often gather an audience that hangs on their every word. But along with all that bold charm comes their signature chaotic sparkle. They're the type to jump onto a coffee table to demonstrate their dance move and accidentally knock over the chips and salsa, or start clapping so hard during a song that someone's drink ends up spilling across the floor. No one is mad, though, because Aries will laugh it off, grab some napkins, and then somehow turn the cleanup into a team-building activity that everyone enjoys. Deep down, Aries wants everyone to have as much fun as they are, which is why they push the limits of what a casual gathering can turn into. A quiet get-together? Not if Aries is around. They'll escalate it into a mini-festival complete with competitions, dramatic entrances, and maybe even an impromptu talent show. Sure, there might be a broken lamp by the end of the night, but there will also be unforgettable memories, wild stories to retell, and dozens of photos where Aries is in the center, mid-dance, looking like they're having the time of their life. They don't just attend parties, they transform them. And now, a little side note. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a thanks button right under this video, or through the donation alerts link in the description. Your support truly helps me keep creating. And of course, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for being here. Now, let's continue. Taurus. Where do you find Taurus? Near the snacks, obviously. They're the ones building a relationship with the buffet table and rating the quality of the cheese platter. Taurus loves comfort, so don't expect them to be running around. They'll be in the comfiest chair, sipping their drink, observing the chaos with satisfaction. A Taurus at a party is easy to spot because they've already secured the most comfortable seat in the entire house, usually before anyone else has even realized the party has truly started. If there's a soft couch, a recliner, or a corner with perfect cushion support, Taurus has claimed it like it's their throne. And from that spot, they create their kingdom. A carefully curated plate of snacks in one hand, a drink in the other, and the calm, satisfied expression of someone who knows they've mastered the art of partying without breaking a sweat. For Taurus, the highlight of any gathering is the food spread. They don't just casually nibble on chips, they analyze. They'll make mental notes about the texture of the dip, the seasoning of the wings, and yes, the overall artistry of the cheese platter. If there's brie, Gouda, and a decent selection of crackers, you've already earned their respect. If the snack table is lacking, they'll quietly adjust, stacking things into neat little piles and making the presentation look more appetizing because, honestly, it just feels wrong otherwise. To Taurus, food isn't just fuel. It's an experience, and a party without good snacks might as well be a meeting that could have been an email. Taurus isn't the type to dart around the room making small talk with strangers. They prefer quality over quantity when it comes to socializing. They'll find a few people they truly vibe with, settle into deep conversations about life, relationships, or the best way to season potatoes, and stay there until the end of the night. While others are rushing to dance or run around with wild energy, Taurus is sipping their drink, chuckling at the antics, and quietly feeling grateful they don't have to move. Their sense of comfort is sacred, and once they've found their cozy spot, nothing short of a fire alarm will make them give it up. But don't mistake their calm demeanor for disinterest. Taurus loves the party in their own way. They absorb the energy like a content cat lounging in the sun, purring inside, watching the chaos unfold with genuine appreciation. They're the ones who will remember to compliment the host on the choice of wine, notice the subtle playlist in the background, and thank whoever brought the homemade cookies. And if the music finally pulls them out of their chair, Taurus can absolutely surprise everyone with slow but deliberate dance moves, the kind that scream, "Less is more." They might not be jumping on tables like Aries, but when they groove, it's smooth, steady, and magnetic in its own calm way. At the end of the night, when people are exhausted from running around, Taurus is still there, happy, comfortable, and perfectly content. They didn't need to be the loudest, they didn't need to dominate the room, they just needed good food, a cozy seat, and the warm satisfaction of knowing they enjoyed the party at their own pace. In their eyes, that's the real victory, staying true to their vibe while still soaking up the fun around them. Gemini. Imagine a social butterfly on double espresso. Gemini is everywhere, chatting with the host, making friends with strangers, somehow learning everyone's life story in under an hour. They'll disappear mid-conversation, then reappear laughing with someone new. You don't find Gemini at a party, Gemini finds you. A Gemini at a party is like watching a whirlwind made of glitter, caffeine, and endless conversation. They don't just enter a room, they scatter into it, instantly multiplying their energy into 10 different corners. Within minutes of arriving, Gemini has already talked to the host, complimented someone's outfit, exchanged Instagram handles with 2 strangers, and somehow convinced a group of complete opposites to join in the same conversation. They're magnetic, not because they try to be, but because people can't resist the spark of curiosity and playfulness they bring. Imagine a hummingbird darting from flower to flower, never resting in one place for too long. That's Gemini in human form at a social gathering. They thrive on variety, switching from one group to another with the speed of thought, bringing with them fresh energy and unexpected stories. One moment they're chatting about travel adventures in Europe, the next they're discussing conspiracy theories in the kitchen, and 5 minutes later they're laughing on the balcony with people they met literally 30 seconds ago. If you blink, you'll miss them, because Gemini doesn't just circulate around the room, they orbit it. The real magic of Gemini lies in their ability to make everyone feel like they're the most important person in the room, at least for the few minutes they're talking to them. They ask questions with genuine excitement, nod enthusiastically, and give the impression that they've been waiting their whole life to hear your take on why pineapple should or shouldn't be on pizza. And somehow, in between darting from conversation to conversation, they'll collect enough personal details about everyone to write a biography series. But Gemini is also the king or queen of unpredictability. They'll disappear mid-sentence, sometimes mid-laugh, leaving you wondering if you said something wrong, only for them to reappear 15 minutes later across the room, arm in arm with a new group of people, cracking jokes as if they've been friends for years. They're not flaky. They're just fueled by a constant need for stimulation, and the party is their playground. At the core, Gemini isn't just there to socialize, they're there to experience. Every person is a new story, every group a new stage, and every laugh another piece of the night's soundtrack. You don't find Gemini at a party because Gemini is already on their way to find you. And when they do, you'll remember the conversation, even if it was only 5 minutes long, because it felt like a spark. They bring the chaos, the laughter, the quick wit, and the sense that the night is alive. If Aries starts the fire, Gemini keeps it crackling with constant bursts of oxygen. Cancer, sweet, nurturing, and probably in the kitchen cleaning up after everyone. Cancer feels like the unofficial host, making sure everyone has a drink, a plate of food, and a safe space to vent about their ex. They might not stay in the spotlight, but they're the reason the party feels cozy and warm. Cancer doesn't just show up to a party, they adopt it. The second they walk in, they scan the room like a parent making sure their kids are safe. Who looks lonely? Who hasn't gotten a drink yet? Who's sitting in the corner with that "I want to leave but I don't know how" face? Cancer notices everything. They glide into their role as the unofficial host, and suddenly people who didn't even know they needed comfort are being taken care of. While others are busy talking loudly, dancing, or starting games, Cancer is in the background making sure there are enough cups, organizing the snack table, or quietly tidying up that spilled drink before it turns into a sticky mess. If you wander into the kitchen, chances are you'll find them there, sleeves rolled up, helping clean dishes or warming up food. But don't mistake this for them being out of the action. They are the action, just in a softer, subtler way. Without Cancer, the party feels incomplete, like something is missing. With them, it feels like home. And oh, the way they listen. Cancer is the person you end up pouring your heart out to in a corner at 11 p.m., telling them about your breakup, your stressful week, or your lifelong dream of opening a bakery. They nod, they empathize, they hug at exactly the right moment, and they make you feel like your story matters. While everyone else is focused on the surface-level fun, Cancer dives into the emotional core of the night, giving people what they really came for but didn't realize: connection. But don't think Cancer can't enjoy themselves. They're sentimental souls, so music that reminds them of childhood or old friendships will draw them to the dance floor in an instant. They'll laugh, sway, and sing along, but always with an eye out to make sure their friends are having just as much fun. And if someone looks left out, Cancer will take their hand and pull them into the circle, making sure no one feels forgotten. They might not dominate the spotlight or command attention with bold moves, but they create an atmosphere that lingers long after the night is over. Guests leave remembering the warmth, the kindness, the way the party somehow felt safe and inviting. Cancer isn't just part of the party, they are the heart of it. Without them, the fun might still exist, but it won't have that glow of comfort and belonging that only a Cancer can bring. Leo. Oh, you'll know when Leo arrives. They don't walk in, they make an entrance. Leo is telling the loudest stories, commanding the dance floor, and making sure all eyes are on them. But here's the thing, they're actually amazing at hyping everyone else up too. Leo is the DJ, the MC, and the spotlight all at once. When Leo shows up to a party, it feels less like someone simply arriving and more like a celebrity stepping onto the red carpet. The door doesn't just open, it swings wide as if the universe itself wants to announce them. Heads turn, conversations pause, even the music seems to swell a little louder, syncing perfectly with their entrance. Leos don't sneak into a room, they radiate into it, and everyone can feel the warmth of their fire instantly. They'll have the outfit that makes people whisper, "Wow, they look incredible," but it's not just about clothes. It's about the confidence in the way they carry themselves. Leos glow with an energy that says, "Yes, I'm here, and yes, you're about to have a better time because of it." Within seconds of arriving, they're already telling a dramatic, hilarious story at a volume that makes people from across the room gravitate toward them. Their laugh booms, their expressions are theatrical, and suddenly, people are leaning in, hooked like they're watching a live performance. But Leo doesn't stop at storytelling. Give them a dance floor and they'll own it like it was built for them. They don't dance timidly, they command the rhythm, pulling others into their orbit with moves that are bold, unapologetic, and joyful. Even if they're not the best dancer in the room, no one cares, because Leo's enthusiasm is irresistible. They're the first to clap, to cheer, to yell, "One more song," and the first to convince you that you can in fact dance, even if you swear you've got 2 left feet. Here's the magic though. While Leo thrives in the spotlight, they're not selfish about it. They'll lift everyone else up with them. If someone's too shy to dance, Leo will hype them up until they're out there smiling. If the mood dips, Leo knows exactly what to say or do to bring the energy back. They're part host, part entertainer, part motivator. They know how to make the room feel alive. They might look like they're all about themselves, but deep down, they want everyone to shine just as much as they do. And yes, they can be a little dramatic. They'll gasp when the chips run out, they'll theatrically complain when their song doesn't play, and they'll pout playfully if they think someone else stole their thunder. But it's never mean-spirited. It's showmanship. Leo thrives on performance, and a party is their stage. At the end of the night, long after the music stops, people are still talking about the energy they brought, the way they made everyone feel like a star, and how the night wouldn't have been half as fun without them. Leo doesn't just attend a party, they turn it into a legendary event. Virgo. Virgo's having fun, but also silently judging the chaos. They notice the mismatched cups, the sticky counter, and yes, the fact that nobody's recycling. Virgo might not be the loudest guest, but if you need someone to organize the pizza order or rescue a drunk friend, they've already done it. Virgo at a party is a fascinating contradiction. On the surface, they're blending in quietly, sipping their drink, smiling politely, maybe sitting on the edge of a couch while others take center stage. But inside, their mind is buzzing like a control room, scanning every detail, cataloging every flaw, and making mental notes about how things could be improved. The mismatched cups? They noticed. The sticky counter near the snacks? They clocked it the second they walked in. The recycling bin? Nowhere to be seen, and Virgo is silently sighing about it. But here's the thing, Virgo isn't judging to be mean. It's in their nature to analyze, to observe, to fix. They can't help but see the small details others overlook, and half the time they'll actually do something about it. While everyone else is screaming over the music, Virgo has already straightened up the snack table, replaced the soggy napkins, and found a trash bag for the empties. Without them, the chaos would spiral. With them, the party somehow stays functional. They're also the unsung heroes of group logistics. When someone yells, "We should order pizza," and chaos erupts over toppings, Virgo is the one who takes charge. They'll gather everyone's requests, calculate the right number of pies, figure out the timing, and place the order like a seasoned general leading a mission. No fuss, no wasted time, just pure efficiency. And when the food arrives, they're the first to hand out slices, making sure everyone gets what they wanted. Virgo also has a radar for emergencies. Drunk friend about to trip over their own shoes? Virgo is already there, guiding them to the couch with water in hand. Someone crying in the bathroom about their ex? Virgo will knock softly, offer tissues, and give practical advice that somehow manages to sound both comforting and logical. They may not be the loudest or wildest person at the party, but they're the glue that holds everything together. And when they do let loose, it's often a delightful surprise. They'll quietly join a game, reveal a wickedly sharp sense of humor, or even jump into a dance circle with moves nobody expected. People who underestimate Virgo as boring quickly learn that when they finally relax, they can be just as fun as anyone else, just with less mess and more precision. At the end of the night, while everyone else is half asleep on the couch, Virgo is double-checking that the oven is off, the doors are locked, and the house is safe. They leave behind a trail of quiet order in the chaos, and hosts secretly thank the universe for their presence. Because without Virgo, the party would have been memorable, but with Virgo, it's not only memorable, it's manageable. They're the quiet hero, the hidden anchor, the one who doesn't just enjoy the party but makes sure everyone survives it. Libra. Libra is the social charmer who floats gracefully from group to group. They make everyone feel seen, they compliment your outfit, and somehow they're always in the middle of the most photogenic selfies. If the party vibe starts to dip, Libra swoops in with the perfect playlist to save it. A Libra at a party is like a gentle breeze carrying the scent of flowers. You don't always notice their arrival, but suddenly everything feels lighter, brighter, and more harmonious. They move with grace, drifting effortlessly from one circle of people to another, leaving behind laughter, compliments, and that rare kind of warmth that makes strangers feel like old friends. Libras have this almost magical way of connecting with people. When they talk to you, you feel like the only person in the room, even if they've been talking to 20 other people before you. Their eyes sparkle with genuine interest, and their compliments never feel forced. They'll tell you that your jacket makes you look like a rock star or that your smile lights up the room, and somehow, you'll believe them completely because they mean it. It's not just about charm, though, it's about creating balance. Libras sense the vibe of a party like a DJ feels the rhythm of a crowd. If things are too loud, they'll gently steer conversations into calmer waters. If things are dull, they'll turn up the energy, sometimes literally, by taking control of the playlist. And they never miss. Their music choices are flawless, pulling people back onto the dance floor, reviving conversations, and keeping the atmosphere buzzing. A party without Libra feels like a painting missing its brightest color. With them, the whole canvas comes alive. And of course, there's the aesthetic touch. Libra has an eye for beauty, and they bring it with them wherever they go. Somehow, they're always in the center of the most Instagram-worthy moments, posing naturally in group selfies that everyone looks great in. They know their angles, sure, but they also know how to make others shine. They'll adjust your hair before the flash, tilt your drink for the perfect shot, and make sure nobody feels left out of the photo. Later, when everyone scrolls through their feeds, there's Libra, glowing in the middle of it all, proof that they understand not just how to live a moment, but how to capture it. But what makes Libra unforgettable is their ability to make people feel connected. They're the bridge between groups that might never talk otherwise. They'll introduce the shy guest to the loud one, the newcomer to the regulars, and before you know it, everyone is mingling like they've known each other for years. They don't just attend the party, they orchestrate the harmony of it. And though they're adored by many, Libra never feels arrogant about it. They're too busy making sure everyone is happy, too focused on keeping the energy balanced, too dedicated to ensuring no one leaves feeling unseen. When the night ends, people don't just remember Libra's jokes or their stylish outfit, they remember the way they felt around them, comfortable, appreciated, and part of something beautiful. Libra is the charm, the heart, and the elegance of any gathering, and even after they leave, their energy lingers like the last notes of a perfect song. Scorpio. You'll spot Scorpio in the corner, locked in a deep, intense conversation with one person while giving mysterious glances around the room. They're not about small talk, they're about reading people's souls. Don't be surprised if you walk away from Scorpio questioning your entire life. A Scorpio at a party is like a dark flame, mesmerizing, magnetic, and just a little dangerous if you get too close. They're not the ones shouting in the middle of the room or dancing on tables. No, Scorpio prefers the shadows, choosing their spot carefully, often in the corner or somewhere slightly detached from the chaos. From there, they watch, observe, and dissect the room with eyes that feel like they can see straight through to your secrets. They're not judging, they're analyzing, peeling back the layers of everyone around them, waiting for the right moment to engage. And when they do engage, you'll know it. Scorpio doesn't do casual banter. They don't care about the weather, the snacks, or the latest TikTok trend. They want the real stuff, the deep stuff. Within minutes of talking to them, you might find yourself sharing things you've never told anyone else. They have this uncanny ability to pull truths out of people, not by prying, but by listening so intently it feels safe to open up. Their presence is intense but comforting, like sitting by a fire on a cold night. You feel exposed, but also strangely protected. Conversations with Scorpio can feel like therapy, confession, and a thrilling mystery novel all at once. You'll start talking about your favorite movie, and suddenly, they're asking questions about your childhood dreams, your biggest fears, or what you'd do if you only had 1 year to live. And you'll answer, willingly, because there's something about the way Scorpio asks that makes you want to reveal everything. By the time the night is over, you might be questioning your choices, reevaluating your relationships, and wondering if you've just had a life-changing epiphany, all thanks to a 5-minute chat with Scorpio. But don't think they're only serious. Scorpio has a wicked sense of humor, often dark and sharp, delivered in perfectly timed whispers that make you laugh harder than you expected. They'll drop a sarcastic comment out of nowhere, and you'll suddenly realize they've been paying attention to everything all along. They might not be the loudest in the room, but when they do speak up in a group, everyone listens, because their words always carry weight. And then there's the mystery. Scorpio has an aura that makes people curious, even a little intimidated. They don't reveal everything about themselves easily, and that secrecy draws people in like moths to a flame. They'll give you just enough to keep you hooked. A smirk here, a cryptic comment there, but never the full picture. That's part of their allure. At a party full of noise and chaos, Scorpio is the enigma in the corner, the one everyone wants to understand but no one ever fully does. By the end of the night, you won't remember every drink you had or every song that played, but you'll remember the look Scorpio gave you, the conversation that shook something deep inside you, and the feeling that you've just brushed against something profound. They're not the life of the party, they're the soul of it, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right person to notice. And once you've talked to them, the night, and maybe even your outlook on life, will never feel quite the same. Sagittarius, the wild adventurer. Sagittarius is starting spontaneous games, convincing people to go out for an after-party, or leading a group to do shots at the bar. They thrive on fun, laughter, and a little bit of chaos. Basically, if Sagittarius is there, it's impossible to be bored. When Sagittarius steps into a party, it's like someone just opened the floodgates of excitement and unpredictability. They don't arrive quietly, they crash into the scene with the energy of someone who's been waiting their whole life for this exact moment. They're the ones whose laughter you hear before you even see them, the ones already calling out, "Who's ready for shots?" before they've taken off their jacket. Sagittarius doesn't treat a party like a simple gathering, they treat it like an expedition, a new adventure, a chance to push boundaries and test how far the night can really go. They're spontaneous to their core. Within minutes, they're inventing games nobody has ever played before, and somehow convincing everyone to join in. 1 second, they're leading a rowdy round of "Never Have I Ever," the next they're suggesting a dare-based scavenger hunt through the house, and before you know it, half the room is following them outside for some wild idea that sounded crazy but suddenly feels like the best decision ever. Their enthusiasm is magnetic, you can't resist it. Even the quietest, most hesitant guest ends up swept into their orbit, grinning at the chaos Sagittarius creates. And the after-party? That's where Sagittarius shines. They're never satisfied with just one event, they want more, bigger, louder, wilder. When others are winding down, Sagittarius is already hyping up the next location. This was fun, but who's up for karaoke? Okay, now let's hit the bar down the street. Wait, what if we all just grab tacos at 2 a.m.? They can take an average night and stretch it into an odyssey that nobody forgets. And yes, they'll be the fearless leader, marching at the front of the group, rallying people like a general heading into battle, except the battle is a line of tequila shots and a dance-off with strangers. But their chaos isn't reckless, it's joyful. Sagittarius thrives on laughter, and they'll do anything to get it. They're the first to tell a hilarious story about their most embarrassing moment, the first to trip over themselves in the name of a good joke, and the first to egg on someone else's ridiculous antics. They love seeing people let go of their inhibitions, drop their worries, and just live in the moment. Around Sagittarius, boredom doesn't exist, it's simply not allowed. And the beauty is, their energy is never mean-spirited. They might stir up trouble, but it's the fun kind, the kind that leaves people saying, "I can't believe we did that, but I'm so glad we did." They know how to keep things just chaotic enough to be thrilling, without ever crossing into danger. It's like they have an instinct for exactly how far to push the night to make it unforgettable. By the end of the party, when everyone else is exhausted, Sagittarius is still buzzing with energy, still laughing, still urging people to squeeze out every last drop of fun. And even if you swore you weren't going out tonight, if Sagittarius is in the room, you'll find yourself on an adventure you never saw coming. They're the spark, the wild card, the reason you'll have stories to tell the next day. With Sagittarius, a party isn't just a party, it's an epic, unpredictable journey, and boredom doesn't stand a chance. Capricorn. Capricorn doesn't party, they network. They're the ones asking you about your career goals while sipping wine, subtly handing out business advice in between dance songs. But here's the funny part. Once Capricorn finally relaxes, they can surprise everyone by letting loose in the best way. Capricorn walks into a party with purpose. While others are scanning for the drinks or the dance floor, Capricorn is scanning for opportunities. Who's here that might be a useful connection? Who has ambition? Who can they exchange ideas with? They don't just see a party, they see a room full of potential allies, colleagues, and collaborators. Within minutes, they've found someone interesting to talk to and are already diving into a conversation that sounds more like a business lunch than a house party. So what do? What's your 5-year plan? Have you thought about investing in real estate? Yes, they'll ask you these things while holding a glass of wine and nodding thoughtfully to the beat of the music. To some, this might sound intense, but with Capricorn, it's strangely comforting. They exude a sense of stability and competence, the kind of presence that makes you want to sit up straighter and take yourself more seriously. They're not trying to kill the vibe, they're trying to elevate it. And let's be honest, sometimes you do need someone at a party to remind you that maybe you shouldn't text your ex at midnight and instead focus on building something meaningful. Capricorn is that voice of reason, dressed sharply, sipping their drink slowly, and dropping wisdom that somehow feels just right in the middle of a chaotic room. But here's the twist, Capricorn is not all business. The moment they finally let their guard down, they become one of the most surprising, entertaining people at the party. It might take a little coaxing or a couple of strong cocktails, but once they relax, it's like watching a whole new person emerge. Suddenly, the buttoned-up, career-focused Capricorn is on the dance floor, busting out moves you'd never expect, laughing with abandon, and maybe even singing along to the cheesiest pop song with zero shame. This duality is what makes Capricorn so fascinating. They can hold a deep, serious conversation about financial planning 1 minute and then be leading the group in a ridiculous conga line the next. People often underestimate how fun Capricorn can be once they shake off their natural seriousness. They don't party often, but when they do, it's like they've stored up all their energy for that one night, and they release it in the most entertaining way possible. And here's the best part, they still manage to leave an impression that lasts. Even after they've danced, laughed, and let loose, they'll still walk away having made meaningful connections, handed out some advice, and left people feeling like they got both a mentor and a dance partner in the same night. Capricorn might not party the traditional way, but they party in their own way. With purpose, with flair, and with the ability to surprise everyone around them. They're proof that you can be both ambitious and fun, grounded and wild, disciplined and unforgettable. Aquarius. Expect Aquarius to start a deep group conversation about conspiracy theories or the future of humanity, right in the middle of the party. They're quirky, unpredictable, and probably wearing something nobody else could pull off. Aquarius is the one who turns the party into an unforgettable experience just by being themselves. Aquarius doesn't just show up to a party, they transform it. From the moment they arrive, there's this electricity in the air, like something completely unexpected is about to happen. They might walk in wearing neon boots, a vintage jacket from the 70s, and sunglasses indoors at midnight, and somehow, instead of looking ridiculous, they look iconic. Aquarius has that rare gift of making the unusual seem not only acceptable but enviable. Guests glance twice, whisper, only they could pull that off, and suddenly the room feels like it's buzzing with new possibilities. Within minutes, they've gathered a group of people, not for small talk, but for a full-on discussion about the mysteries of life. While others are gossiping in the kitchen or fighting over the playlist, Aquarius is in the living room asking, "Do you think time travel is real? Or, what if reality is just a simulation?" And the crazy part? People listen, people lean in, they want to hear what Aquarius has to say, because it's never boring. They can turn a random Tuesday night party into a TED Talk mixed with a comedy show, complete with wild theories, funny tangents, and a sprinkle of wisdom that makes you think long after the music has stopped. But Aquarius isn't all deep talk, they're unpredictable. One moment, they're dissecting the meaning of existence. The next, they're leading a group in a bizarre but hilarious game they just invented on the spot. They thrive on spontaneity, shaking up routines, pushing people out of their comfort zones in the most entertaining way possible. If Aquarius is there, no two moments will feel the same. You'll never be able to predict what's coming next, but you'll know it'll be unforgettable. Their social style is as eccentric as their wardrobe. They don't follow the crowd, they create their own path, often pulling others into their orbit without even trying. If the vibe is flat, Aquarius knows how to twist it into something exciting. Maybe by suggesting everyone share their weirdest dream, or by queuing up a playlist that nobody expects but everybody ends up loving. They're not afraid to be different, and that bravery gives permission for others to relax, to drop pretenses, to just be. By the end of the night, people aren't just saying, "That was fun." They're saying, "What just happened? That was an experience." Aquarius doesn't settle for ordinary fun, they make memories. They challenge people to think, to laugh in new ways, to see the world from a different angle. They don't just attend the party, they imprint themselves on it. And weeks later, when people are reminiscing about that night, the stories that come up first almost always involve Aquarius, because somehow, without even trying, they became the highlight. Pisces. Pisces is vibing with the music, lost in the atmosphere, maybe even daydreaming while dancing in the corner. They're sensitive to the party energy. If it's good, they'll float around like a social angel. If it's bad, they'll disappear into a quiet room with their favorite playlist. Pisces at a party is like watching a dream move through the room. They're not there to dominate the spotlight or command attention, they're there to feel, to soak up the atmosphere, to let the energy of the night carry them wherever it wants. Put on the right song, and you'll see Pisces sway in the corner, eyes half closed, smile soft, completely lost in the rhythm. It's not just dancing, it's like they've stepped into another world, one made of sound and light, and for a moment, everyone around them wonders if they can feel it too. Pisces are emotional barometers. If the vibe is high, if the laughter is real, if the music is flowing, they float around like angels, spreading kindness, warmth, and a soft glow that makes the party feel magical. They'll dance with strangers, compliment friends, and laugh in that way that makes others feel safe and joyful. They're the embodiment of flow, moving effortlessly from group to group, blending in without forcing anything, leaving behind a trail of gentle positivity. But if the energy is off, if people are tense, if arguments break out, if the mood dips, Pisces feels it deeper than anyone else. Their sensitive nature absorbs it like a sponge, and suddenly, the dream fades. They'll quietly slip away, maybe into a bedroom, maybe onto a balcony, headphones in, playlist on, creating their own private sanctuary until the storm passes. For Pisces, it's not about escaping the people, it's about protecting their soul, making sure they don't drown in negativity they didn't create. And when they're engaged, Pisces brings something rare to a party: emotional connection. They're the ones who notice when someone is sitting alone and will gently sit next to them, sparking a conversation that feels like a balm to the soul. They'll listen intently, nod at the right moments, offer words of empathy that somehow go straight to the heart. While others are chasing laughter, Pisces is quietly creating intimacy, reminding people that parties aren't just about noise, they're about connection, too. They also have a whimsical side. Pisces loves a good fantasy, so give them a silly costume, a themed party, or a chance to tell stories under dim lights, and they'll thrive. They'll laugh at absurd jokes, join in on random games, and bring out an almost childlike wonder that softens even the wildest chaos. Their imagination is their gift, and at a party, it turns every little detail into something special. By the end of the night, when the music fades and the crowd thins, Pisces lingers in people's memories like a song you can't quite forget. Maybe it was the way they danced like no one was watching, maybe it was the kind word they shared at just the right time, maybe it was the way they made the night feel a little more magical. Pisces doesn't just attend a party, they dream through it, and if you're lucky enough to share their dream, you'll never forget the feeling. So tell me, did I just describe you or someone you know perfectly? Drop your zodiac sign in the comments, and let's see which sign really rules the party scene. And if you enjoyed this astrological breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more zodiac fun, and check out the links in the description for even more cosmic content.